here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
All right. Hey. We are back. Back like we never left. I am Shirley Phillips III, back on this rainy Sunday out here in DC. I don't know. What's the weather like in New York?
Lovely weather, snow and rain.
That's not lovely, sir.
This is eastern part of America. We are used to.
Well, I'm out here. It's raining, and it's appropriate because they are turned all the way up. You got Mr. Elon Musk, who thinks he's the president. You got Mr. Donald Trump. They throwing stuff. It's rain is appropriate, but we're not getting into that today. Today we are talking about the importance of representation, particularly representation of our Black brothers in film and media. And I have with me, hopefully you can hear and see him. This is a big deal because this brother is not easy to pin down. Okay, it took me 2, 4, 5, 6 weeks to get him on here. This is Mr. Martel Taylor, writer, producer, film extraordinaire of Taylor One Films. If I had my audience with me, they would give him a round of applause. Martel, what up, though?
What up, though?
For all of the people who are confused, what up, though, is how we greet each other in Detroit. Okay, in Michigan, you don't say hi, how are you? You say what up, though. So, Nura, you just learned something new. When you come to Detroit with me, you're gonna say "What up, doe," and they're gonna treat you like you belong. Okay?
Family.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're gonna take you to Dearborn with your people, and you're gonna say "What up, doe." All right, Martel. Thank you first of all for joining us. I appreciate you, my dear.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I have so many questions and so little time.
Okay.
For you, but first of all, can you please tell everybody who you are and what it is you do? Tell them who you are.
So, Martel Taylor, writer, director, producer of Taylor One Films. That's who I am. That's what I do. I write, I direct, I produce content. That's who I am.
Not just any content. He has a focus. So he doesn't just accept any project. His projects have meaning and they have purpose. Not that he will, that he discriminates, but correct me if I'm wrong, but when you created this, was it 2011? I think it was
2011. Yeah.
2011. He had a very intentional purpose and he wanted to share stories. Many of his films have kind of like family-centered themes, faith-based themes. We're working on, I say we because he and I are actually working on a pretty major project that we are not at liberty to talk about right now because we are under contract. But he tries to make sure that everybody is represented, whether you're Black, Hispanic, male, female, but like this show, the voices that are often unheard. And so what I wanted to ask you, because I'm a little long-winded. What I wanted to ask you was, as a Black man in the film industry, what do you think has been like the biggest obstacle or the biggest struggle that you've overcome or that you've come across?
Yeah, I wouldn't say overcome, but I would say a big struggle is just getting the right people behind you to help you push and tell our stories. It depends. As being an independent filmmaker, I can, of course, tell whatever story that I would like to tell. That's the kind of thing about being independent. But when you're trying to not just be independent, but tell stories, even through Hollywood and places of that nature, getting a chance to tell our stories, getting a chance to, get represented by agents and things of that nature. That's, I would say that's the biggest obstacle,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We just put up the poster of the Broken Covenant. Now they had In a Split Second, which I was actually there for the premiere of both of these. And I was really overwhelmed with the substance of both films and that you did this. He does this on his own. He's independent, you guys. He doesn't have multi-gazillion $1 million backing. Everything that he does with these films is either from donations or fund, him pocketing it himself. And it's not easy. It's not easy because America's ghetto. We broke. America doesn't have money. Okay, so he has to really work hard on every single film. I've seen it with my own two eyes. So, and the quality of the films. What are you're on Amazon? What is it? Prime Video.
Both films are on the major two is Amazon Prime and Tubi. They're on a couple of the smaller streaming platforms, but I always tell people to watch them either on Tubi or Amazon Prime.
Okay. And guys, please, even if you watch it, you don't have the time to watch it, always support. I always just tell people download or purchase whatever it is just to help support somebody that looks like you. And I think that leads into my next question. Why is it so difficult, do you think, for people like us, me, you, Nur, why is it so hard for us to support us? Why is that so difficult?
I really was hoping that was the question.
What the problem is, as they say.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that. It is a huge struggle. In my industry, I run into a lot of people, doing what I do, being a creator. I love to write. I love to tell stories. I run into a lot of, I'm going to say it are people. I run into a lot of people that they say they would like for me maybe to write them a film or, let's work. They have a project. Everybody got a project in their head. And, I have a lot of people reach out to me at times saying, I have a project. I would love to collaborate with you. I would love for you to write this film. And I say, okay, because I want to see everybody win. I'm real big.
Exactly.
I'm real big on, even while I'm chasing my goals and dreams, I'm trying to help others reach theirs. So I'm real big on saying, hey, yeah, let's work. But when it's time to work, or when it's time,
it's time to put the money down to work.
Put the money down on the work, it's crickets.
That's just what I was about to say. It's crickets chirping. And I don't think all the time it's because people don't have it. I think that sometimes people really are envious. I really do. And I hate to always go back to that, but I just think that it's like a generational curse for people of color to have this crabs in a barrel syndrome. And I don't even think it's personal towards you or me or Noor or anybody else. I just think people need to get over themselves, and rather than hating, quote unquote, on the next person, ask them how they did it. If you want to get into their line, ask them what they did. But in the meantime, support them. Because as soon as you get your Oscar, right? As soon as you get your Emmy, oh, I know Martel, that's my homeboy from back in the day. But ma'am, sir, when he was coming up, you didn't help him. You didn't help him. And so for you, go ahead.
I was just going to add, to be very transparent, what you're saying is 100% true. I've had friends, I've had family that it's the, hey, I support you, anything you need, let me know, because I believe in you. But then soon as you ask for the support, and I really don't understand it. But like I say, those would be the same people that, if you make it or when you make it, it's, oh, that's my buddy, that's my best friend, that's my cousin. And I just wish we were different. Because again, like I said, even while I'm chasing goals and dreams, I'm trying to help pull up other people. And I haven't even reached all of mine yet,
Right.
So I wish I knew the answer, man. I wish I knew.
I think that, oh wait, I got the answer. Wait a minute, Newer. You said Barack Obama owns Netflix. It's Reed Hastings. Sir, can you hear me?
Honorable.
You're not paying. Can you hear me, Newer?
Honorable host, comment section, and my brother, writer, director, filmmaker, who is the ex-president, two-term president. Listen, he don't have any company, his name. He not going to be put his name of any corporation of America. You know that. So listen, he not going to be put any kind of corporation his name on.
I know
the
that.
Netflix, ask that filmmaker, director, writer, when Netflix came on this planet, when it came.
I don't know that answer.
We don't
so
know.
I know that. When is it start? When is the starting time? So who make it? When is the starting time? So I know the all history. I don't want to tell on the year. On he's our brother. He's our president. He's our ideology, and he is our leader. Hope he make our generation, our
What are you
kids.
talking about? You talking about Donald Trump, or you talking about Barack Obama? Who are we talking about here?
No, no, no. I am not talking about the current president Donald Trump.
Praise God. Because I don't identify with.
I'm not talking about President Trump is not making a film. He making enough drama. Every single day.
He needs to have his own. He needs to go back to working on the show because he needs to fire himself.
Well, but I will tell you this. Actually, Barack and Michelle Obama does have a production company. It's called Higher Ground Productions. They just started. Once he got out of office, he started. So he does have a movie production company called Higher Ground. He started maybe about like 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago.
The starting point is 2014.
2014?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't know. That's why I have y'all. Y'all the experts. So now I know. Now I have a fact. I just learned something new. So now I got to start really reaching out to Michelle Obama. Anyways, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Professor, teacher, and host of Common Section.
Me before. Now I'm the honorable professor host. See, before you came on, Martel, he was bullying me. He was telling me I ain't know nothing. Anyways, back to Martel. Martel, yes. As a man who identifies as Black, African American Black, when did you know that you needed to exit the finance industry? Because he did not start out this way. He started out in finance. He was a mortgage underwriter, right?
Yeah. Mortgage underwriter
for a major banking system. When did you say, you know what, I have to do this? What led you to do this?
Honestly, I think it was like during COVID. During the time of leading up to COVID, I always had dreams of doing this 1,000%. Okay. But like anything, life happens. I had got married, I had kids, growing up and things of that nature. So you got to put food on the table. So although I was working a full 9 to 5 as a mortgage underwriter, like I say, since about 2010, 2011, I was doing both. Starting to create Taylor One Film, starting to do, writing and things of that nature. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I mean, we didn't have anything to do. So it was like I was working, saving money, saving money. I didn't know what to do. And I'm glad you asked this question because I always like to tell this question. So I had a little money sitting around and I kept saying, okay, well, since I, got this money sitting around, I was looking to invest in something. So I started calling other people that's self-employed, other people that had things they wanted to do. And I was just, because I was interested in investing, not even thinking about myself, which was weird. It was crazy because I always wanted to, of course, shoot my own movie. And I had a conversation with my daughter, and I'll never forget. She came downstairs and was like, "Dad, you're sitting on a little money." She was like, "Why don't you do your own film? You've been saying you want to do your own film for years." And I was like, "No, it's COVID." But that was the start of actually shooting the movies. I was doing a lot of writing before then, a lot of dreaming. But I would say,
how were you guys shooting with all the quarantining that we had to do? How did you pull that off?
It was mask, COVID test. I tell everybody it was a blessing because nobody got sick on set. We didn't have to shut the set down or nothing, and we shot 10 days straight. And but yeah, that was my step out to say, to go back to the original question. The step out was I got to do this now. It's either now or never. I've been an underwriter for 20 years. I know how to underwrite. I can always go back to that, but I was like, it's either now or never. So I took a chance on myself.
I tell people that all the time. I feel like a lot of people discovered what their true purpose was during COVID, myself included. I have 5. I tell people I think I might have some Jamaican in my family. Well, my dad is Nigerian, but I have 10,000 jobs. But I went to school. My passion is media. in journalism. It always has. That's what my degree is in. But you do things like you said, you get older, you get mature, you got bills, you got to put food on the table. So I also was in finance. That's how Martel and I met many, many moons ago. I don't even remember what year that was, but we were both in finance. And I think I made the exit before he did into education, and then slowly started doing nonprofit work. But for you, would you say that growing up, would you say that the experiences that you went through, because I don't think you came from a wealthy, rich, I must type situation, right?
Not even
So tell us
close.
a little bit about how you grew up and how did that funnel some of your directing dreams?
Well, I grew up with my grandmother because my mom and my dad couldn't take care of me. Of course, knew who my mom and dad was. Dad lived in Pontiac, mom lived in Detroit, so I knew who they were. But again, I grew up with my grandmother, which shaped a lot of who I am, with how I think, how I act,
and what you saw too.
and what I saw. Absolutely. And one of my films that it's currently written, waiting to be produced, is kind of like an ode to my grandmother. It's like a timed piece from 1960 on up to now.
Wow.
But yeah, from what I saw, what I experienced, that's kind of where I write from. I write from not just, how can I put it? I call it 33%, 33%, 33%. So it's like 1/3 something I may have dealt with or know about myself, something that someone else has dealt with, and then the other third is embellishment.
There you go.
So that's kind of where I come up with my ideals.
That's so
Shirley,
important. Yeah.
Shirley, we have to go to the break for a
Commercial
second.
break. Okay,
Yeah.
commercial break. We'll be right back with Mr. Martel Taylor on the comment section. Be right back. Do you often feel like the issues that are featured on network TV don't interest you, don't affect you? Do you feel like the arts and cultural events that are featured don't really interest you? Do you generally feel like your voice goes unheard? If you answered yes to any of those questions, Millennium News 24 is here to help you. I'm Shirley Phillips, and I'm the host of The Comment Section, a new show on Millennium News 24, airing on Sundays, and we are airing on all streaming media. MillenniumNewsTV24.com, MillenniumNews24.com, Apple TV, Roku TV, Fire TV, Horizon Satellite, and drum roll please, all smart TVs. So there's no excuse for you not to catch up with us. We hope to see you on Sundays on Millennium News 24.
Thank you, viewers. We are back again, our regular show, comment section. Our honorable host, Professor, teacher,
You are landing
Shirley
on thick.
Phillips.
Oh, I wish y'all could see how he was bullying me. He is landing on thick, y'all. He is, anyways.
No. You are honorable human
I'm
being.
gonna ask you Detroit trivia. I'm gonna get you. It's okay. I'm gonna get you. But back to what we were talking about. It is so important to have that inside, the inside scoop, as I like to call it. People that are in Martel's generation, we're kind of in the same generation. I can't remember if I'm older than you or younger, but we're in that same Gen X. And we're kind of like the last of the Mohicans. We're the last generation that knows how to read, write, speak the King's English, one, because I teach. I'm with them every day. They can't read and write, y'all. They can't add, can't subtract. So God help us all. Nor do they care. They're very indifferent about education. And on top of that, they don't have a lot of insight onto what our ancestors had to go through. And I'm talking about our recent ancestors. Grandmother, my mother was a victim of Jim Crow. My mother in Kentucky drank from the colored water fountain, had the non-colorful people, as you call them, they were throwing rocks and stuff at the school bus. Your grandmother, I know, had some situations that she saw and you were able to experience through her. So with you, how do we preserve that voice as writers and directors? How do you plan to keep that going once we're no longer here?
I try to create content that would whether if I'm here or not, still will be able to tell a story even when I'm dead and gone. Those are the type of stories that I like to tell. They stand the test of time. And because I think of what happens, a lot of us as storytellers, I look at the industry, I look at what's on TV, I look at, what's in the movie theater and things of that nature. And I don't feel like a lot, and I don't knock what anybody does, but I just don't feel like a lot of it is telling our stories, telling
accurate stories.
Yeah, accurate stories that'll last that even when the three of us are gone, when our grandkids, great grandkids, and so that's what I aim to do. I try to aim to make stories that I feel even when I'm dead and gone, people will be able to look at and at least pull something out of it.
Relate to.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that 33. I like that.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do something with that. I really like that because I do find with my students, just to backtrack on what I said, they can read and write and they will be engaged if it's interesting. I teach middle school.
Right.
And right now, it's funny you mentioned that we're on the civil rights unit. Mm-hmm. I was surprised at how many of these babies had never heard of Emmett Till, never heard of Rosa Parks. Yeah. And once they learned about it, they're pissed right now.
Yeah. So
they're like, wait a minute, they did what? And now they're doing research on their own on YouTube. And I love that for them. Mm-hmm. But it makes me concerned that when I'm gone and you're gone, because the internet is doing its best to scrub all of these stories. I don't know if you knew that. It was very difficult to find the actual picture of Emmett Till in his casket. It was hard to find that because they're trying to make it sensitive so that kids can't find it, but we found it. So for you, are there any particular narratives that only a Black man can accurately tell in film? In your opinion, do you think there are any narratives in 2025 that only a Black male writer producer can accurately put on film?
I would say that one is the struggle of being a Black man. I don't think nobody can tell a story about a struggle of being a Black man other than a Black man. That's just my personal opinion. You can be the best writer in the world, but if if someone else wrote it, this maybe not African American, to me, you're going to be writing from someone telling you of their struggle. But I feel as a Black man, I'm telling you from my version of the struggle. So that to me, that makes it more authentic that I'm telling you from living it daily versus someone. And there's some great writers who have told some wonderful stories, about our plight. But again, I think, a lot of times they're telling it from an entertainment standpoint.
Yeah.
Where we're telling it from it ain't just entertainment.
I lived it. Or I at least saw somebody next to me live it.
Absolutely.
So I'm thinking maybe if someone that is non-African American, not a male or one or the other, maybe if they want to tell one of those stories, they should at least have a Black male on staff as a consultant.
Absolutely.
Maybe to let them know, where there's an inaccuracy or something like that.
And I say that, and I say that because even for me being, a male, if I'm going to tell a story that is very female dominant, I usually make sure that I have someone on my team that I'm talking with. Mm-hmm. I don't want to jump because I don't know exactly what you're going to ask me about in a split second, but using in a split second, my film as an example, there's a breast cancer awareness piece to it. Mm-hmm. Being a male, I did a lot of research, but I also went and talked with 5 females who have either dealt with a breast cancer awareness themselves or have had it been affected by someone in their family. Okay. Because I wanted to make sure that I was telling the story the best way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As authentic as I know how to tell it. So.
Did you solicit people for their stories? Like, did you put out an open call, or did you just use people that were already in your immediate circle?
Well, there were people that I knew. So yeah, I didn't like do it like an open because I know how big that would have wound up being, but I did pick like certain people that I knew. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did see that release when you did it. And a lot of people were, I'm just watching like the audience members, a lot of people were like shaking their head, and you saw people getting really emotional because it's something that I think I'm going to step out on a limb and say just about everybody at least knows somebody that has dealt with some form of cancer, particularly breast
absolutely.
cancer.
Absolutely.
Shirley, can I share with you some point?
Sure.
Since you know we are the colorful people, African, Indian, they build United States of America. Our ancestor, they built the America. But from the history, if Martin knows that, from the history, day by day, every single day, they try to clean up. They try to take off the who built the America,
Yeah.
part by part.
Black
Education,
people. Mm-hmm.
from education sector
Mm-hmm.
to farmer sector, roads and highway sector, every sector, like your sector, my sector, his sector, every sector, how many we have the colorful people in news media industry, and how many we have like movie industry, script writer industry,
Yeah.
and how many we have those days, and how many current days, and our still in America we have so-called racism issue every single day
Yeah.
we are fighting for.
Yeah.
Probably sometimes we are ignoring. We don't want to say that. We don't want to know that. We just forwarding and moving on. This is 21st century. Why is going to be like that? Mr. Martel, my brother, I just sharing my views.
No, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
as a media worker, as a media behind the scene media worker, we are seeing every single day, every single second, every single sector, government office to private sector, local government office, local politician to our own community. You put your own people, we put our own people head of us. End of the day, they're not going to help you. They're not going to be like the gentleman. And Shirley, you talking about no one supporting you, him, me. Every single day, his place, your place, my place, we fight for
Yeah.
ourselves to build our own platform.
That's how
Yeah.
it has to be. And that's why it's so important for people like Martel that have their independent companies, because that's honestly, that's the only way that we're going to make it. But we have to support each other. And even while I'm here, I joined Millennium News 24 because I needed the freedom. A lot of the other networks that I worked for, there were just too many labels and too many restrictions. And I didn't feel like I could accurately do the type of journalism that I wanted to do. So I appreciate you guys for that. But Martel, I'll let you answer that. Like, why is it that we can't come together, it's just like our ancestors did in the 50s and 60s and 70s and whatnot? What happened?
Listen, since 20s, before the America independent, before we are the slave, we build the country. Before they bring from India, they bring from Africa. We are the slave. We are the build this nation. Where is the European that time? Huh?
I'm gonna let him handle that because I have another.
Who built this country?
Why are you getting me started? You know I'm like Angela Davis.
No, I'm just sharing my views. Martin, he making the movies. He is the production, and he is the producer. He is the writer. He is the movie maker. So
That's
he
the one
knows
that can evoke change. He has more power than I do right now to get these stories told, particularly of Black men. We have to have the men as the head of our household, but their stories need to be told. They're struggling and suffering right now, and they don't have a lot of the groups and partnerships that Black women have. It's like Black men, as much as I get on my nerves, I will never turn my back on Black men, and I will never not support them, because if I don't, who will? But what we're asking Martel is, let me rephrase the question. What can we do to help you, Martel? What can we do as a people, like he said, to help you get these films out, more films out that tell more stories of Black men? What can we do to help you today?
I'm gonna answer twofold, what you just asked and then the previous question. A lot of it, and I'm gonna put it together. First off, we have to stop competing with one another until we get to the point that we're not competing with one another. That's why you see a lot of Black-owned businesses that close within 12 months. When we get to a point of supporting, and a lot of times people automatically take support, meaning financial. All support isn't financial.
That's right.
But using the financial aspect of it, it's knowing that we will spend X amount of dollars with someone that doesn't look like us because we want a hookup because Martel looks like me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
The person can reach out to me and ask me to write a film for them. And I may say, okay, this is what I charge to do it. And I won't hear back from them, but then they'll go spend that amount of money or even more on someone that doesn't look like me. I even dealt with that even through the mortgage industry, when I was in the mortgage industry. So I say all that to say, we have to learn to stop competing with one another. We have to stop feeling like he or she is winning and I'm not winning. Because there may be something that you're good at, good at, I'm good at, and we should be able to, until we could come together and work together and say, this is your strength, this is your strength, this is your strength, we can do this. And this is, I know it's very cliche to say this, but it's true. A lot of times there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. If my name isn't in lights, if my name isn't first, I've spoken with other film producers, independent writers, directors, and I've said, hey, we're all in this boat together. Let's all try to champion a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And pick a project. You're a great director. I'm a great writer. You're a great producer. You're great at music. You're a great videographer. Why don't we all go in and work together, find one project? It doesn't have to be a Taylor One Films project. It does not have to be a Taylor One Film script. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, it's 4 or 5 of us that this is what we're doing. We're all independent. We're all trying to make it. Why can't we collaborate, find one project to
pull our stuff together? Yeah.
But again, it's
exactly. We are not respect each other. That's all.
Yeah, you can't imagine how tough it is. It can be depressing.
Shirley, we have to go to the break. Okay.
All right, we're gonna go to the break, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more about what Martel has up and coming. But we'll be right back in the comment section.
Okay.
Do you often feel like the issues that are featured on network TV don't interest you, don't affect you? Do you feel like the arts and cultural events that are featured don't really interest you? Do you generally feel like your voice goes unheard? If you answered yes to any of those questions, Millennium News 24 is here to help you. I'm Shirley Phillips, and I'm the host of The Comment Section, a new show on Millennium News 24, airing on Sundays, and we are airing on all streaming media.
MillenniumNewsTV24.com, MillenniumNews24.com, Apple TV, Roku TV, Fire TV, Horizon Satellite, and drumroll please, all smart TVs. So there's no excuse for you not to catch up with us. We hope to see you on Sundays on Millennium News 24.
Viewers, we are back again.
We are back, and I'm going to try to get to some of the juicier questions that I had. I don't have a filter, so I'm trying to not get us off.
Go ahead.
What are some of the topics that are in your opinion specific to Black men that still have not been told or haven't been told to your satisfaction or to your liking? What are some issues that you all deal with, specifically Black men, that you still feel kind of haven't been hit yet, and I kind of need to put that out there?
Mental health.
Amen.
Depression.
Amen.
The fight, honestly, the fight of being a Black man in America.
What does that mean? What does it mean to be a Black man in America?
For me, it's just, I feel not even just a Black man in America, but even a Black woman. But that's just feeling like I have to do 10 times more just to be on the same level as those that don't look like me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I even feel like, just from what I've heard, I actually I saw your work firsthand. I was on set with him for another big project that he's got coming up. I'm trying to tell y'all need to buy his rookie card now, because don't come when he's on the Grammy stage, the Oscar stage. But I've seen him work. It is a lot. He's got like 18 different hats on. It moves like a machine. But what I was going to say was, I've been on set with Spike Lee, my Pisces brother. Pisces season comes. I always call him Uncle Spike because he's very, very, if you ask him, he'll tell you. People say he's mean. He's not mean. He's just very focused. And I see that when Martel is working as well. But if you ask him, he's going to tell you, but he's only going to tell you once. And I learned from him. So my question to you is, have you reached out or have you experienced, quote unquote, other Black filmmakers giving you like the cold shoulder or not really taking you under their wing for fear of you maybe usurping them? Have you experienced that yet?
Absolutely. I wouldn't say none from the celebrity standpoint, because those people are hard to, just being, very open. Being an independent filmmaker, I can't just reach out to Tyler Perry. I can't just reach out to Spike Lee. If that's the case, everybody, would. But there are, maybe B-list, C-list, independent filmmakers, artists that, especially, in the Atlanta area, that I've reached out to, and I get the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because what I didn't realize about this industry for a long, long time, it's extremely cutthroat.
Yes.
It is extremely cutthroat. Yeah. And I didn't know this when I first started.
Wow.
But yeah, I had a producer that's from Detroit, been in LA all his life since 1819. He's been in this film game for a while. And I was able to reach out to him in 2012. Yeah. And I always say this conversation because it has always stuck with me. He's independent. 2012, I reached out to him and we had a long discussion, and he asked me, why are you just now doing this? Why are you, yeah. And, I explained to him, I said, well, I've been doing this for a little while, but life happens. And it was a very discouraging.
Like shaming you, maybe?
It was a discouraging conversation if I would have let it. He was like, this industry is hard, which I know it is, but he kind of was trying to talk me out of even going for it.
Really?
And the funny part about it is, I like to tell this story because this was 2012. In 2019, he was sitting in Atlanta in my kitchen asking, could he shoot at my house?
Look at God.
could have used.
Look at God. I can't.
But in 2012, you were trying to talk me out of even, doing it. So it's a lot of cutthroat.
So did you help him?
Absolutely.
As you should have.
To a degree.
To a degree.
Yeah.
But just to be the bigger person, sometimes you do have to set that example. And I think maybe a lot of people haven't really had that experience. A lot of people, all they know is survival. Like he said, it's kind of like survival of the fittest. And especially now more than ever, we have to get out of that, because they weren't like that when they were marching across that bridge in Selma, and when they did that bus boycott, they stuck together. Right. And my next question, which is again is often a sensitive topic, as I'm teaching my students, what I know, I'm actually learning, because new things are starting to surface because people feel more comfortable advocating for themselves. And what I've learned, colorism is still a big thing. And I was going to ask you, do you feel that if you were lighter skinned, because you're a chocolate brother, do you feel that if you were fairer skinned, that you would have more doors open to you or more people willing to help you? Be honest.
No. You know what? I would say yes. And it's funny, I've never been asked this question before. But I absolutely feel colorism exists with our own people. So
yeah.
I definitely, absolutely.
Which comes from slavery, but it also comes from people, like you said, trying to survive. And if you were a lighter skinned slave, you still were treated like trash, but you got the better scraps. You got to go in the house.
Right.
But it never left, because people were just trying to survive, and they felt like the lighter they were, or the closer to lighter, the more they would be able to provide for their family. And that mentality never left, even during the civil rights movement. And a lot of people, I'm gonna drop one shell on some people that probably didn't know, Rosa Parks was not the first person that didn't give up her seat. It was a dark skin. You knew that, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
It was a darker skinned sister, teenager, didn't bother nobody, and they didn't want her because of how she looked and how they thought the world would perceive her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember her name, but I definitely know that
Claudette.
That's Claudette.
Miss Claudette. She told it, and it was a lot. We'll talk offline about maybe that's a film or a documentary that you can do, but it wasn't Rosa Parks. So I would never disrespect Miss Rosa Parks, but color had a lot to do with it.
Absolutely.
I would like you, if you could find it in your heart, I would like you to do something on that. I don't know if it would be a documentary or an actual film, but I would like that story to be told from a male's perspective.
Okay, I like that. I'm creative.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Nobody wants to talk about it. We are. I like to say this. A lot of times we are our own worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
We spend a lot of time about the things that we don't have, or what someone else is not allowing us to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just a firm believer, if we ever came together, and I'm not trying to get all extra, deep here, but I just feel if we ever came together as a people,
unstoppable
in all industries, we'd be unstoppable.
And they know that. And so all of this is by design. Even this whole aspect of separating people by color, that was by design from the slave masters. We can't let them think that they can, join forces, because they will overpower us. They saw what was in Africa. We were fine. We taught them how to be clean, how to, Nigeria is still richest continent in the world. They saw we had our own language. We were thriving. These people were beautiful. They were strong. They saw that, and they did not want that to repeat itself here. So they purposely kept us apart. And I think, unfortunately, that has been perpetuated. But we're going to stop that. And that's why I remain in the field of education, because I don't know what I don't know. A child doesn't know what they don't know. You got to teach them.
Right.
They don't know. You don't know what you don't know. But once they find out, baby, these middle schoolers, they ready to march. They like, Miss, can we go down to the White House? I'm like, we're not doing that right now. But they're angry because they see it. And for you, with your children, did you make an effort as a father to alert them of some of the things that they may have to deal with
Yeah,
in regards
absolutely.
to us?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. What you got going? Oh, before we do that, top 3 films of all time, Black films. I narrowed it to 3 because 5 is a lot. Top 3 Black films of all time that every person must watch.
Okay. Woo.
Without your order, you can't put your own stuff in there.
Okay.
If you need
Selma.
5, you can. Selma.
Selma.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I see, because for me, I'm also looking. It's hard for me to answer that question from. Well, I guess it depends on where I'm answering from. Am I answering
Just
from?
in general, it doesn't have to be political. Just any in general.
No, because it's hard for me because of doing what I do. It's hard for me to just watch a movie just to enjoy the movie. So when I'm watching a movie, and things of that nature, I'm watching it, and I wish I knew how to turn it off, but I can't. I'm watching it from okay, of course the movie, the topic, but I'm also looking at it from a cinematographic standpoint.
Yeah.
And I wish I didn't. Honestly, I wish I could just go to the movies and be like, but it's hard. But I'm gonna say Selma is extremely important. I learned a lot when I watched Selma, things that we didn't get taught.
You didn't get taught. Mm-hmm.
in school. So Selma is definitely one. Another one that I would say is very important, and again, it can be a little controversial. I would say Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to get too deep. Like I said, Malcolm X and Selma. Malcolm X and Selma.
A Spike Lee joint, by the way, and my brother. Yeah. He's a married man, so I'll be respectful. But my brother Denzel, I don't think anybody could have played that.
Yeah, for sure. You said important to see, or just that I like?
In general, like that you just feel that every human being should see that's considered a Black film.
Roots.
I was hoping you would say that because that was definitely in my top 5. Roots changed my life. That's why we watched that in 7th grade.
Roots, and I'm gonna add one more, Color Purple.
Color Purple, amen.
Yeah.
Color Purple.
Yeah.
Roots, Color Purple, Selma, Malcolm X.
Yeah.
One that it's not a political film per se. It did have some political undertones if you dug into the character's history, but for me, What's Love Got to Do with It changed my life too. Because
I almost mentioned that, but go ahead.
I learned a lot. I didn't know a whole lot. I knew Tina Turner remember we were kids, 1984. I knew Tina Turner, Private Dance. I knew that. I didn't know the intricacies of what she went through, domestic violence, but just the whole family and, her childhood. And then I was able to see the domestic abuser's point of view. I hate to say that, but I saw what Ike Turner went through. He watched his father basically be lynched by the KKK.
Right. And that's the reason why
it had an effect on him.
Right. And that's the reason why I mentioned movies, not necessarily from the political standpoint. I like movies where I'm learning. I'm a real big comedy guy. I have my comedy moments that I need for comedy. However, I like films that when I'm watching the film, I have to jump on Google because I didn't know. You get what I'm saying? So,
I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I love that for you. I love that for us. And I love that for our kids because all they know, unfortunately, is TikTok, YouTube, and Sexy Red and Ice Spice. And it's because, remember, their parents are relatively young. Their parents are like early 30s, a lot of them.
Yeah.
They don't know because they weren't taught. Yeah. My 7th grade teacher, Miss Curry, love her to death, was a white woman teaching in the ghetto, the heart of Detroit, but we were a gifted and talented school. She was more like one of the hippie, like these kids gonna learn today. She made us watch Roots from beginning to end. We
Right.
watched all of them, and it changed my life. I love Miss Curry. That's my favorite teacher to this day. She's on Facebook, and I love her for that because I probably wouldn't be the person I am had I not watched that. I knew my dad's side. My dad is African, but I didn't know like how deep those wounds still were, for people. So we got, well, how many minutes we got left? There about 8 or 9 minutes,
five,
five,
6 minutes.
5 or 6. So tell us about what
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
working on currently. What are some things? I mean, I know you can only say so much, but
Right.
what can we help you with as a as the colorful people, as Nur said? He don't like to say black
As
and
our,
brown. The colorful people.
as our community. Right now, again, we have the films that's out. Working on you and I, without getting
Mhm.
you and I are working on an important documentary. Um, I'm in pre-production for the next film to produce. Um, so at Taylor One Films, actually, being independent, there are times we're always looking for support, whether if it's donations, sometimes we're even looking, for investments for the next film. Just depends on, on what type of investment that we're looking for. And even if you're not supporting or investing, donating or something like that, just watching my films and
Yeah,
sharing my name with, and that's why I was saying a minute ago when I said all support isn't financial. It
exactly.
doesn't take anything to share a post. It doesn't take anything to tell someone, hey, watch his films, because I feel the more the Taylor One Films name get out and the brand grows, people
Yeah,
are going to know who I am in the industry as well. Anyway.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh, sh- can I share with you some? If you have any kind of promotion ad, or if you like to do any kind of promotion, give it to Shirley. We're going to promote you. It's no
Absolutely.
problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you
I
so
will
much.
do that. I can give you a commercial and give you access. We have a lot of viewers, and a lot of our viewers are overseas. So
Okay.
sometimes the things that we talk about, this is the first they've heard of it, and they get really excited about it because they have their stories they want to be told too.
Right.
I was recently speaking with an Islamic, I don't know what's the probably correct way, Muslim. Do I say Islamic or Muslim? I'm not sure, but she just talked to me in private. We were chatting, and she's just like, "Thank you." She saw some things on my Go Girls page, and she's like, "Thank you so much." She's like, "I don't get the opportunity to talk about these things where I live." She lives in Dubai, and she would be a perfect person, that might maybe under a different name have some things that she would like talked about. It's
Mhm.
not just black men, it's people of color all over the world that have
Listen,
stories.
number one, we are human being.
Thank you.
Okay. We have to think we are human being, no
Thank
matter what, whatever race, whatever color, whatever we are come from. We
Yeah.
are human being. These days, those dialogue is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. We just think me, me, me.
No.
We don't think about it, respect, honor, and care for each other.
Yeah,
We have to we have to do that
that's
as
true.
a brother and sister.
That's true. But a lot of people, I agree with you. We're all humans first, but a lot of people don't know the plight of other people that don't look like them sometimes until that story is unfortunately told on the big screen.
Like
Especially
a
now, people are
like
in
a
the
his
house.
like a his part he just share with us. I understood.
Yeah,
Very tough to make, build from script to make and build one movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Go to the front of the people's eyes. Very tough. It's not easy.
it's
Okay.
not. It's not.
Like us, my side, making the show, making the news is not easy though.
Hard. I know what we go through. It's hard.
Okay.
It's
But
hard.
you know, we're gonna help each other no matter what.
We have to.
We have to.
We're
Nobody's
gonna help
coming
each
to
other.
save us. We have to help each other.
keep in touch with us and sharing with us. You know, come frequently with us. So we're gonna be build relationship and forwarding each other. Thanks God.
Amen. Amen on that note. Where can they find you, sir? I'm always gonna put a link on our screen, but where can they find you if someone wants to donate, if someone wants to help, if someone has an idea, a project, if they want to say hi, how
If
do
you
they
have
get in touch?
Martin, if you have any link or if you have any website or if you have anything, sharing with us, so
Gotcha.
we can we
Okay.
can promote with it. Okay.
Gotcha.
I just
We
want
can.
him to spell it out because people, everybody can't read. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, I work with these kids every day. People can't read,
You can.
and y'all
You
think
can
I'm
reach.
playing. You can't.
You can reach
Can
me at. You can reach Taylor One Films on
Mhm.
both Facebook and Instagram. TAYLOR the number one FILMS. And I also have a website which is www.tayloronefilms.com.
Mhm.
And there are links on there as well. You can see the trailers to my movies on there, the links to go watch the movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. And
And if somebody wants to, be a part, thinking about donating or whatever, like I say, there's an email address on my website for them to reach out to me.
okay. And you can always, if worst comes to worst, you can always reach out to the show or to me, and I will get back to you. I'm better with Instagram messages and text because I get a gazillion phone calls, and a lot of times my phone is on silent because
Me
I'm
too.
either working or I just don't feel like talking to y'all because I talk for a living. So it's better to text me or message me sometimes. But if you call, I will try my best to listen to your message if that's the only way that you can. WhatsApp, whatever. This was good. I feel like we need a part 2, so we will definitely be featuring you again when the next project comes out.
Okay.
Any last words? Last words for the people.
Um, I don't. The only thing I would say
For
is
our
just
Black boys, give me a message because I'm going to show this to my students.
for your students, just to keep pushing. Find something that you're really interested in. Find something that you're good at, and go after it. A lot of what I didn't have someone that pushed me. At times I make the joke about Venus and Serena Williams' dad, Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson, come on
A lot
now.
of people talk about them. Now their kids talk about them like they're crazy and stuff like that. But I look at each one of them dads. They saw something. They saw
right.
something in their kids, and it might have been tough. They might have been tough, but they saw something in them that they didn't see it in themselves. And I always say, I wish I'd have had somebody that told me, because I've always liked to write, scribble, poems and things like that. I wish I had someone to tell me at 18, hey, you got a gift.
Yeah.
So my message is for the young people is find something that you like. Everybody can't be a basketball player. Everybody can't be a football player. Find something that you like, find something that you're interested in. And even in this entertainment thing, I'll leave you with this. Of course, there's writers, directors, and actors, and those are the people you see. But there are some wonderful behind the scenes job
Absolutely.
in this entertainment industry. If you know
That
how to
probably
work,
sometimes make more than the actors.
they do. No, they do. If you learn how to work a camera, learn how to do sound, learn how to do lighting, you can always be working. See, I'm writing, directing. I have to wait for somebody to call me and say they need something. But when you have one of those talents, because people are filming every day, every week. So I love doing what I'm doing, but sometimes I wish I was behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you. Is it ever too late? I know we got to go, but is it ever too early, rather, for someone to write a script? If I have a 13-year-old that has a script, is it something that you would consider, maybe help them tweak it? Or
Sure, for sure. I think the younger the better, actually. Yeah, absolutely.
Not too young. We have to be ending the show, Miss Shirley.
Okay. All right.
Please.
Thank you guys for listening to my banter. Thank you, Mr. Martel Taylor.
Thank you for having me.
Time. We will see you guys next week on the comment section.
Viewers in America and viewers in the world, we are ending our show comment section. Whatever you are, stay peace and love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye bye now.
Thanks a lot.